we're going to talk about getting older.
Welcome to RangerRob Country Living.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the RangerRob Country Living channel and Homestead. And yes, believe it or not, it's another sparkling day here in Central Oregon. Yes, sirree, Bob. And yeah, I still have tomatoes, and they just won't stop. So they are starting to show little signs of kind of like, So today we're going to talk about getting older. Yes. So if you're young, it's hard to imagine getting older. When you're younger, sometimes you feel invincible. Sometimes you don't even know the consequences of your actions. That's okay. We all went through that. But when you get older, it's funny how you comprehend the world so much different than when you're in your 20s or 30s. And so some of the definitions I'm going to give you may give you an insight to your future if you're getting older. And then I think I might also share some of the things that has shaped the things we're doing today, and things that we, for example, you know, we get this homestead and all that stuff, and you say, wow, they'll be doing this forever. And I can tell you for sure that's not true. The reason I know, I think this is the wisdom part, is when things change. Two is, the older you get, the more limitations you have. And that's frustrating for people getting older. You're so used to being strong and able to lift things, and as you get older, and I never really understood this sometimes. I think Sherry's dad, who passed away, you could tell the frustration in his eyes when he would say constantly, I'm just not as strong as I used to be. And it bothered him. And so that'll shape what you do in the future here. Now, Sherry's mom and dad had this place and we bought it. And I think one of the mistakes they may have, I can't say really a mistake, but miscalculation is they probably should have sold this place 5 or 10 years before they got to an age where they were finding it hard to maintain. And I'm hoping Sherry and I can recognize that when the time comes. For me, the best description of getting older is describing it like a car. It's like your check engine light came on and you can't get the damn thing off. And yeah, and you get a little more resolved of things you want to do in your life. And just like our parents did, they used to just like our generation would drive them crazy, and they thought we were going to be losers. And we do the same thing to this generation, of course. And I can tell you one thing: when you're at this age and you meet a child that has dreams, gumption, want to learn things, go out, it's so nice to see. And you can see it so clearly when you meet another child that has no motivation or drive, and you know it's not their fault. I can guarantee you it's usually the parents. And goodness, a little fight for nesting boxes, like they don't have enough. Anyway, gosh, there's so many little things. I think I'm really appreciating, like we just had a car accident out here right by our road, and it's normally because people are just in a hurry and all that stuff. I like at this age that I've learned patience, and I also realize even aggressive driving and stuff like that, at this age you really know that you're not invincible, And you got to be aware of your actions when you're driving, but you got to realize that there's insane people out there. And knowing that, I tend to be a more cautious driver and realize I just want to get from point A to point B alive, and point B to A back home alive. So doing stupid things as a driver, and believe me, there was times where I look back at some of the things I did action-wise when I was driving, and it was really stupid. It's all about just getting from one point to another, especially if you get your family or kids in the car, alive and healthy. And yeah, I'm gonna check on the piggies over here. I'm kind of late to getting everything done today, and so the piggies are probably pretty hungry, and we'll talk more about this. I think another thing that I've realized is, this may be kind of off to the side a little bit, but the love for a dog. When you get this age and you've had dogs all your life, and you've probably been through 10 or 15 dogs, because their lifespans are so short. So I'm finding myself, like I have Cinder, our chocolate lab, who's Miranda, walking around here just having fun and taking her time. Then I got the crazy young one, and you know that you only have them from 9 to 14 years, maybe 15 if you're lucky. So I tend to take the time, give them a little extra loving, a little more attention, and realizing that the time is short. I don't know why dogs have such short lives. They're great friends, huh? Up, Al. Yeah, right. Where's the birds? Anyway, so recognizing quality of life. The other thing I always notice when I'm older is a good food. Oh my gosh. I think that's why in the Bible so many feasts. It's really a special time when everybody can fill their bellies and enjoy good food. And then being together with family and friends for a meal. There's something so special. You ever notice that something like that? It's always special to have a good feast together with friends and family. And I don't know, I still can't get over how you can spend hours cooking something and then devour it in 15 minutes. But that'll always be special. And I think you can kind of recognize that in the Bible too. A time with feast with friends and is always such a special thing. And yeah, all right, I still haven't fed these pigs. Let me get that done. All right, guys, I'm getting closer. Get the food all poured out. I think another thing I was going to bring up is relationships. Sherry and I have been married 42 years. One thing you've noticed with aging is not so much the physical anymore as it is in companionship. You'll meet a lot of people that maybe have been divorced or something like that. Maybe they're in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. And yeah, the drive on the physical side of things, it's important to some, but it's more about companionship and having a partner. And yeah, I see a lot of that. People our age, it's more about how important it is just to have someone that you can be with all the time, and it's special. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. But yeah, when you're younger, the physical part is so important to them all the time. And after you find later, after years and years and years, that special time together, just having someone you can always bounce ideas off and argue with, and everything else is much more important. Yeah, aging's a funny thing. But I think the one message I'd tell young people is if they could just comprehend and listen for a minute and realize that I know at a young age you have a picture of how life is going to be, and I know you got all this stuff with pronouns and all these new strange social things that really strange to us older people and stuff, but the guarantee I can give you, one big guarantee: your convictions will change, your ethics, morality hopefully will grow and get stronger, your compassion for others will get stronger, and your relationship with God will probably get stronger. And I always hope that God realizes that he placed a stupid pill in us when we're young, because we're driven by so many different things than we are when you get older, that he has compassion towards us of knowing that we're wiser and older and hopefully smarter at an older age, and have calmed down and know what's really important. What's really important is companionship, empathy towards others, and friendships are important. And everything you do at this age, you do it with care and with gratefulness, and always be thankful for abundance. And every time we've had those is where we were had conviction to be good people and work hard and have a vision. And yeah, I wish I could pass on some of the feelings and thoughts and wisdom that we picked up throughout the years, and there's still more to be had. And you never stop learning. So if you're young and say, I know it all and stuff, I can guarantee you it doesn't stop. You will continuously be learning new things and being fascinated by just things you'll never know about. And understand that, like, for Americans, our life here in America is not the same for someone in another country. And to think that our way is the only way is a fool's game. We have to understand how Russians think, how Chinese, Asian culture is different, and all these different places, Mexico, whatever, they've got their own culture and communities, and we have to be we need to learn to understand them before we start trying to judge them. And I'm sure that there's happy socialists. I'm sure there's happy communism people. I'm sure there's happy dictatorships with people in them. And I know it's hard to believe, but there is happiness in other places. So let's move on. I think another thing I was going to bring up is having children. We taught our kids, we exposed them to everything we could when they were younger. And then we taught them independence. And we also taught them to think independently. And so the good part about that is when they went into the world, they dove in and got careers and education and the whole works. Both of my kids got their degrees and worked hard. And they had the seeds planted in them for success. Now, the drawback to that does not always make your kids your best friends, because they need to know that they're independent, don't depend on their parents, and have that natural drive to succeed. So when you get older, it's kind of like the curse, is we've taught our kids to be so independent and free, and that you don't see them as much, and they live in other areas. I've seen other families where they all stay in the same area and they do everything together, and the parents seem to not want to ever let go. And believe me, I enjoy as much time as I can get with my kids, who are now in their late 30s and 40s, but they have families now and careers, and they're doing what needs to be done to be successful as a family. And yes, I wish I could see them all the time. I wish they're visiting us every day and stuff like that. Of course, I could get old too. But no, what they're doing is they're living their lives, growing their families, and having the same concerns my wife and I have had for our kids when our kids were little. Our whole lives was about our kids when they're around. And then comes a time when you go, well, I hope I've taught you everything I've needed to do for you to be successful. Go get it. Go out there and do it, kids. And they did. But just understand that they may expand to different states, other countries, whatever it takes to follow their happiness. And that's what's important. Another thing I was always grateful for when I was brought up is learning to be responsible and accountable at a very young age. I never walked up to a cliff and then went to the authorities and said, why didn't you put railings there? I was accountable enough to know, hey, maybe I shouldn't stand so close to the edge. Or maybe I shouldn't have bought that too expensive a car or house. Learning your limitations, being accountable, and realize that your decisions cause a lot of your heartaches, and understand getting older that, well, I could say in my early ages, doing business and all that stuff, you know, going into debt, getting business loans, all those things to make our companies work and stuff. At this age is like learning to understand that to try to avoid debt, try to avoid risky things, will just make your life so much less stressful. That's the big thing. So if you haven't learned it by now, learn that you're accountable for yourself, not others. Others are not accountable for you, and you shouldn't expect that. You're the one that needs to know when the danger's coming. You're the one that needs to know when to step back. You're the one that knows not to drive fast. There's cause and effect. And no matter how hard you try to put it on other people's shoulders, I think we call those Karens, you're accountable for yourself and your safety. And this comes from wisdom and understanding how important that is, and you'll live a lot happier life. Well, today is one of those days I still got to do some more errands. Today's Tuesday, which is senior discount at the feed, Redmond Feed and Irrigation. And of course, I'm actually got food on hand for all of our animals, but planning ahead a little, making sure I have enough to go all week long and get my feed at a 10% discount. And yep, and then I'm starting to pick up supplies for future projects that are, I'm watching the pigs over here. I can never put a hose in without one of the piggies trying to pull it out. Anyway, I gotta get some 2x4s and supplies because we need to start building some shelters. We do have a new gilt coming from November 5th, which is not that far away, and I gotta get another shelter built. Hi, pal. What are you doing? Hi. So yeah, gotta keep moving. At this age, maybe the projects get done a little slower, but they get done, and we try to do it with a little bit of planning and giving ourselves enough time to get that kind of stuff done. So yeah, off to get a big day in town. Woohoo! Big city living. Gotta go get some supplies. So let's get that done. So I do want to make sure I recognize that, yeah, the cards are dealt different for everybody. You know, some people have health issues or had a death in the family or an accident has happened or financial crisis. Who knows? There's all kinds of things. But there's so many out there that haven't had all those things happen to them, and yet they're still floundering. And those are kind of the ones I'm trying to reach. And yeah, I mean, with a little bit of, as parents, just trying to build a nice foundation and base for our kids and stuff, maybe it'll flourish like all these tomatoes did. And some folks, it was the end of the season for them. And that's just life in general. But the biggest part, guys, is when you're young, realize things will change. You'll change. Your perspective on things will change, and it's you can't help it. And everybody you talk to who's older than you, you'll find that they'll tell you that they thought one way when they were younger, and it changed over time through experiences and successes and failures. So anyway, guys, a lot of these things are applied to just having a homestead, and realize that, hey, right now this is really not a good time to try to buy property or try to move out to the country. So the best thing you should do right now is make do with what you got. What can you do to learn about growing some things, maybe putting a above ground garden up, raise, if you're allowed to, 1 or 2 chickens in a real small scale, and learn what you can when the opportunity comes. With the economy the way it is, there'll be an opportunity for you to change it and then upscale, build from what you already learned. So yeah, that's kind of my message for today. I'd love to hear your comments below, how you feel about aging and parenting and all that kind of stuff. And I can tell you one thing, I've never been able to go through my life, even when I was younger, without a relationship with my faith. So it's really, I just refuse to believe there's a blank slate out there. And so yeah. So guys, I hope it was a nice talk. I hope we enjoyed our time together. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over. We'd really appreciate that, and it'd really help us. And yeah, guys, have a great day. Happy, don't be afraid of aging. Embrace it. Be grateful. And like I said, the abundance will come. Guaranteed. So guys, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Our videos are made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available at Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.